I just came up with the coolest trick for coloring in Clip Studio Paint, and I'm not sure anyone's going to care about it but me. So in coloring, you're always calling up masks and selections that you've separated and saved. You can do this with reference layers. Beneath your flats layer, you have a gaudy patchwork eyesore that no one's going to see but you, and all it does is separate areas you'll need. So you might ask,
why not just use the flats layer for that?
Good question, and the answer is because sometimes you'll need different shapes from within the same block of color, like in this Hulk art. I use reference layers all the time to call up selections to work on whatever layer I'm working on at the moment. It's incredibly fast and useful, but sometimes you want to refer to different areas to get different selections. For example, look at this. The reference layer here is just my normal separations, and here, because I want to add a lighting effect from this headlight, I've got what I call a depth map. It's just another kind of reference layer, and all it does is separate planes. This is a useful trick for fog or lighting or any kind of situation where you're moving away from the camera would change the coloring. Also, for all this broken glass, I want it to be translucent but to be able to draw reflections on each shard, so I've got a third reference layer for that. So I want to have the option to have multiple active separate reference layers. I've talked about this before in my wish list of features for Clip Studio Paint. A lot of people commented,
but you can do that, just set those layers to reference.
And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being able to select a shape and then select a different shape from a different reference layer without having to manually go and select the area or turn off layers or any of that nonsense. And I just came up with a solution. Look at this. I'm switching between reference layers while staying on the layer on which I'm working. How? I realized that if I named my 3 reference layers separately, I could have an auto action select one layer and turn reference on. The problem is that once you've done that, how do you go back to the layer you were working on? There's no go to previous layer command. Then I realized that when you start the action, you can create a new layer, name it temporary, go down and select your reference layer, then go to temporary again and delete it, plopping you right back on the layer you started from. So now I have a means to quickly select from multiple reference layers and keep working, just like I wanted. And it's faster than it sounds. This is me switching between reference layers in real time. I love how you can come up with your own solution to a problem if you know how all the features work. Coming up with a hack like this is as fun as any art I've ever drawn.